So when I say this is a blind playthrough, I mean it. This is gonna be blind as hell. Just like me. I've got it a little... The top and the bottom are gonna be a little cropped off. If that becomes a problem, we'll fix it. We'll put it in front of the overlay. I'll sacrifice aesthetics if I have to. Ugh. Alright, we got some random German. So you know it was quality engineering. We got some anime designs that really date it. I can tell you exactly when this game was made just by looking at them. Alright, so we're seeing a little bit of cropping issues here in the intro, but I don't think we will in the gameplay itself. So this came out on Steam in March, but apparently that was a shitty port of a shitty 360 port, so it's not what we're playing. We're playing the original with the Kimmel patch, which is apparently like the generally accepted by the fandom, the good patch to play with. So that's what we're doing. I just saw the word Kimmel too much yesterday and made my wife start watching Fearin'. It's such a good anime. Go watch Fearin' if you hadn't. It's got it all. There we go. Get that cursor out the way for him, buddy. A promising past in returning where one belongs. Alright, here we go. Let's roll. Let's get that game going. Let's game, boys. Get it? Game Boy? Okay. Take a sip of water before I start reading for hours. Alright. He was in the middle of a blue world. As far as the eye could see, a sheet of water reached into the distance. The May sun shimmered on its surface. Above, high above, stretched a clear blue sky. The fresh new sky looked so glossy and vivid that it might spill down to earth at any moment. That was all that was reflected in his eyes. The straight line of the horizon stretched into the distance, dividing the sea from the heavens. So tranquil, he murmured to himself. A solitary seagull traced a gentle arc in the sky as the wind carried it away. The wind, carrying the ocean scent, blew by him gently. The din of people could be heard in the background. The merry sound of children's voices echoed brighter than the sunlight pouring down. Ah, so peaceful. It was as if it was in a dream. "16 kilometers from M Island, Komagahara Archipelago, Tokyo." The man-made island, Incel Null, rose above the waves of the water. It seemed like a place removed from reality. The word utopia might have sprung to mind to describe it. Actually, on a slab of rock on the boat dock of the floating island were carved the words, "Where is heaven? Above the sky and at your feet." A little egotistical. I don't know about that. Strongly worded. Leaning out over the railing of the island, he gazed into the ocean depths. In the blue distance, he saw a massive metallic structure swaying gently.
楽園か
Utopia, huh? He mumbled and looked back casually. And there was a tanuki. Is that a tanuki? I don't think that's a tanuki, bro. His eyes met those of the animals. For a moment, they eyed each other in silence. Yeah, because this is a fucking lemur. It's like, bro, did you call me a tanuki? Wrong! To clear the air, he nodded his head, and the animal turned away, ignoring him. Because bro don't even know what kind of animal it is. On closer inspection, he noticed something biting the animal from behind. It was a young girl. She was shaped like a person. Looking closer revealed that there was something strange about her as well. Namely, a small tanuki attached to the girl's backside. Also not a tanuki! What? Man only knows one kind of animal. In front of him, there was a big tanuki being bitten by a girl who was being bitten by a smaller tanuki. They're not tanuki! It's a lemur and a dog! I mean, it's a fucked up lemur. I guess I'll give him that. The scene was enough to make him lose his sense of reality. He rubbed his eyes, rubbed them some more, and opened them again. Even after blinking several times, the bizarre scene refused to go away.
ね
Hey!
えこの子たち何とかしてくれない
You do something about this kid? Whispered the big tanuki. But the words didn't reach his mind because it was so busy trying to process the absurd scene. They're communicating. I must be dreaming, right? That was what he was really thinking. A dream that would not let him wake up. And whiteness, a cold white reality stretching forever. He felt the difference in temperature on his skin. The shock of it finally forced him to open his eyes. He wondered how long he had been sitting. It couldn't have been long. Who is friend? Friend? Friend-shaped? Friend? He had only been in the park an hour. He'd been sitting on the bench the whole time, eating the same ice cream.
冷たい
It's cold. Of course it was. It had melted into a muddy mess. The melted vanilla ice cream trickled onto his hand, spilling on his lap.
冷たい
Ah, it's cold. The ice cream slowly soaked into the fabric of his pants. Finally, the coldness of it had spread completely, soaking into his skin. He'd been sitting there a while. He'd been sitting so long. But the person he was waiting for never came. There was no sign that she would. Oh, bro got ghosted. Why hadn't she come? He didn't know. Why am I here? He felt like he was teetering on the verge of utter
や
confusion.
れやれ
He shook his head and sighed. Didn't seem like his pants would dry anytime soon. No, not with ice cream, man. That's nasty.
どうしたの？
What's wrong? He sensed a slight movement and a girl sat down next to him. She was sporting the theme park uniform, a white outfit with a bluish ribbon. She looked like a guide.
もしかして迷子かな？
Are you lost? A beaming, innocent smile appeared on her shining face.
友達とはぐれちゃったのかな？
Did you get separated from your friends?
うん、
Yeah,
待ってるんだ。
I've been waiting.
待ってる？
Waiting?
いや、
Well,
待ってたんだ。
I was waiting.
待ってた。
We're waiting.
私を？
For me?
違うよ。
No. Looking at her grin, he seemed to be flustered.
ここで待ってるように
I
言
was
われた
I
から
was told to wait here,
う
so
ーん。
I see.
でも待ち人来たらずって感じね。
But it looks like they're not coming. She gave him a sideways
見る
glance.
からに待ちぼうけの待ちくたびれな少年。
You've obviously been stood up and you're tired of waiting.
そうだ。
Ah, I know! Her face suddenly lit up and she clapped her hands together.
君
Hey,
一人なんでしょ？
You're alone, right?
え、
退屈してたんじゃない？
Well,
レビュー
you're
の
bored,
方
right?
案内してあげようか。
How about I give you a tour of the Limu? She tugged at his arm. Without waiting for his reply, she made him stand.
でも待ち合わせが。
But I'm waiting for someone.
待ち合わせ？
Waiting?
誰と？
For who? Yeah. Who? Where are they? 'Who was it? He couldn't think of the name.
まあ誰だか知らないけど。
I don't know who you're waiting for, but
いつまで経っても来ないならもう待たなくてもいいんじゃない？
if they haven't shown up yet, don't you think you've waited long enough? She said that happily, almost prancing around.
行こうよ。
What do you say? How about it?
うん。
He nodded slightly. The girl's name tag glittered brightly against the white fabric of her uniform.
YOU?
That was what it said.
I am you.
うん？
I am you? She nodded.
私は田中。
My last name is Tanaka,
下の名前は You。
and my first name is you.
YOU?
本当はもっと長い
My
名前
real
なんだ
name
け
is
どね。
much longer, though.
長い？
そう。
Longer?
果てしなく長い名
Long.
前。
Like,
だけど、
endlessly long.
めんどくさい
But,
から You でいい
but
よ。
it's such a pain. Just call me you.
よろしく。
Nice to meet you. With that, she enthusiastically stuck out her hand.
よろしく。
Without thinking, he shook her hand. And before he realized it, he'd been sucked along into her rhythm.
じゃあ行こう
So,
か。
shall we go? They reluctantly released hands. He looked once again at his hand, which had connected them moments before. The vanilla ice cream that had spilled on it had completely melted away. Huh? He noticed that the two tanuki had formed a line and were moving forward. In front of them was a massive gate that had been sealed shut. The gate swung open soundlessly, and the big tanuki, the little tanuki, and the girl went inside. Finally, my turn! He followed their footsteps. That was Limu's only entrance for visitors. Several park employees waited at the gate and handed over what looked like earphones to the visitors. It seemed that the earphones were to be used at some point up ahead. He wondered why. Looking around skeptically, but obeying instructions, he stepped into the building. He surveyed the ceiling. There were no windows. From the polished round walls, it was clear that the room was dome-shaped. He looked around. Many of the visitors who had been waiting in line headed into the room. Among them were friends, amorous couples, and people with their families. However, it seemed the Tanuki family had split up. The big Tanuki shoved its way through the crowd of people and continued through a door on the other side of the room. The young girl stayed at the same side of the room as the little Tanuki. I got no clue what those Tanuki are all about, but I guess my friends aren't here either. He didn't see any familiar faces around. He figured maybe they'd already taken the far elevator downstairs. Just 20 minutes earlier, the visitor room had reached capacity. And the friends he had been waiting with had gone ahead, leaving him behind to go down with the next group. Oh well, I'm sure I'll find everyone down below soon enough. Finally, the gate to the entrance slipped shut quietly. The big tanuki fiddled with something on the wall and the room got a shade darker.
皆さん、どうもこんにちは。
Hello, everyone! A park employee emerged out of the darkness. He wondered where she had come from. She was wearing a flashy dress. The dim light shining on her made her seem like a character from some dream. Sorry, I had to get my chair a little comfier.
あれ反応がないですね。
What? No reaction? Folks?
もう一度行きますよ。
I'll try that again.
こんにちは。
Hello! こんにちは。Hello! It was the girl who had, just a little while ago, been attached to the rear of a large tanuki.
あ、元気のいい女の子発見。
Oh, I found a girl with some spunk.
お名前は？
What's your name?
こっちが愛犬のピピ。
This is my pet dog, Pee-Pee. Because it was a dog and not a tanuki. Yeah. Sir, why do you only know one animal, and why is it the tanuki? Not a normal animal to be the only animal you know. I thought they didn't let pets in here. He tilted his head
ココ
doubtfully.
ちゃんはレミューに来たのは何回目かな？
Coco-chan, how many times have you been to Limu?
1、2、3、4、5？
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
今回が
This is my first time! Yes! Yes!
面白い子ね。
Aren't you a funny girl?
よく言われます。
I get that a lot.
ついでだから。
Do you want me to do something even more funny?
え？
What?
最近ね、友達から超ウケるコメントを教わったの。
My friend told me a good joke the other day.
それはまた今度ね。
Maybe some other time.
どうして？
Why not?
これから皆さんにお伝えしなくちゃいけないことがあるの。
Because I have to tell everyone something right now.
そっか。こいじゃしょうがないよね。
Hey then.
でも本当に面白いのにな。
But it's really funny.
残念だね、ピピ。
That's too bad. Oh, Pee-Pee.
では改めまして、
Once again.
この度は海洋テーマパーク
I guess I'll give her.
レミューに
I'll
ご
let
来場ください
them
まして
talk and then I'll read it.
誠にありがとうございます。
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody wants simultaneous noise. On behalf of the Lima Marine Theme Park, I'd like to thank you very much for coming.
これから皆さんにこのテーマパークレミューのご説明と少しだけ注意事項をお知らせいたします。
I am about to give you a brief explanation about the Limu theme park and tell you a few things to watch out for.
そんなのどうでもいいから早く中に入れてよ。
Hey, who cares? Hurry up and let us inside already.
私ももちろんすぐにでも皆さんをご案内したいのですが、
I would love to take everyone
申し訳あ
inside,
りません。
but I'm terribly sorry.
実はどうしても皆さんにはこの加圧室に留まっていただく必要があるのです。
Everyone will actually have to stay in this room for now.
たった17分間だけです。
It will only take 17 minutes.
その間だけどうかお付き合いください。
So please, just bear with me for that long.
まず この部屋についてですが、ここは加圧室と申します。
First, let me explain a bit about this room. It is called a compression chamber.
これからこの中の空気圧を6気圧まで加圧します。
Starting from now, the air pressure in here is going to rise to 6 atmospheres.
なぜ気圧を上げなければならないのか、理由は後でご説明するとして、
Why do you think it is necessary to raise the air pressure? I'll explain the reason for it in a moment.
その前にひ
But
とまず
before
注意事
that,
項をお伝えいたします。
Let me tell you a few things you should be aware of.
これから気圧の上昇に伴い、皆さんは耳に違和感をお感じになると思います。
As the air pressure rises, you may start to feel a strange sensation in your ears.
高い山の上から降りてきた時と同じように、気圧が鼓膜を圧迫するからです。
Like when you are descending a mountain or in an airplane, it's because the increased air pressure is pressing on your eardrums.
ですから耳がちょっと変だなと思われた時には、
So, if you think your ears feel a bit strange,
指で鼻をつまみ、口をしっかりと閉じて耳抜きをするようにしてください。
pinch your nose with your fingers, close your mouth tight, and then try to pop your ears.
それでも耳が治らない場合や体調が悪くなってしまわれた場合には、手を挙げて知らせてくださいね。
If that doesn't get your ears back to normal, or you don't feel well, please raise your hand and let me know.
その時にはすぐに加圧を停止します。
In the event that happens, we will immediately stop increasing the air pressure.
ところで、耳抜きのやり方がわからない方いらっしゃいませんか？
By the way, are there any people here who don't know how to pop their ears? If you can't do it with the holding your nose and blowing thing, yawning will help pop your ears sometimes. Just give a little. Sometimes it do it. My ears don't need to be popped right now. It's a normal day in Seattle, Washington. But you know, next time you're on a plane or something, if you don't want to do the whole rigmarole, just yawn.
よろしいでしょうか？
Is everything clear then?
では加圧を始めましょう。
Alright then, we'll initiate the rise in pressure.
加圧時間は先ほども申し上げましたように17分間です。
As I said before, the time required to increase the pressure is 17 minutes.
その間に皆さんにレミューの構造についてご説明いたします。
During that time, I will explain to everyone about the structure of Limu.
皆さんもご存知の通り、レミューは海の中に浮かんでいます。
As you all know, Limu is floating in the ocean.
水深17メートルから51メートルの海の中に。
At a depth between 17 and 51 meters.
さて、図をご覧いただければお分かりになるように、これらは4つの層に分かれた構造をしています。
Now, if you look at this chart, you will see that the structure is divided into 4 layers.
上から順にインゼルヌル、エルストボーデン、ツバイトシュトック、ドリットシュトックと呼ばれていますが、
From the top, these are called Incel Null, Erster Boden, Zweiterstock, and Reiterstock.
一般的に言われる
We can't number them like people. We gotta number them in
地下3階まで
German.
のことだとお考えいただいて結構です。
In terms of a normal building, you might think of it as a structure with a ground floor extending down into a 3-story basement.
インゼルヌルとはここ浮島のことです。
Incel Null here is a floating island.
洋上に浮かんだ巨大な人工島。
It is an immense man-made island floating in the
インゼ
ocean.
ルは島、ヌルはゼロという意味のドイツ語です。
In German, Insel means island and Null means zero.
つまりここは地上階、ゼロフロアということになりますね。
In other words, this is floor 0, or the ground floor.
次にエルストからドリットについてですが、
Next is from Erster to Dreiter. Hey. Hey. Hey you. I'm talking to you. As he was listening to the explanation, someone pulled on him from behind. He turned to look around. It was a small tanuki. Oh wait, it's a child. It was the girl who had just been talking with the park staff. What was her name again? Coco. It's been like 3 minutes, man. Come on.
ねえ、ココのコメッチョ、気
Hey,
にならない？
hey, don't you want to know about my joke? Oh, that's right. Her name was Coco. And that animal she's holding is Pepe? Popo? Something.
気になるでしょ？
You want to know, don't you?
え、何が？
What?
さっき言おうとしたコメッチョのことだよ。
The joke I was talking about. It's an Ame joke.
コメッチョ？
Ame joke?
知らないの？最近流行ってるっしょ？
You haven't heard about them? They're real popular, you know. Boomer.
知らないな、そんなの。
No, I
なんだそれ？
haven't. What are you talking about?
アメリカンジョークのことだってば。コメッチョ、コメッチョ。
An Ame joke is an American joke. Get it? Ame joke.
ふん。
気になるでしょ？
Makes you
教え
want
て
to
ほし
hear
い
it,
でしょ？
right? Want me to tell you? Oh shit. We got choices happening. I mean, do we want American or do we want German? That's the choice we're making here, really. All right, we'll listen to the joke. We called her dog a tanuki. It's the least we could do.
うん、気になるかも。
I guess I'll listen to it.
オッケー。じゃあ教えてあげよう。
Here it goes.
昔ある男が死んだおじいさんの幽霊に向かってこんなことを尋ねたんだ。
This doesn't really sound like the setup to a joke, but okay. Once, there was this guy who was talking to the ghost of his dead grandfather, so he asked him a question.
100万年と言ったら幽霊にとってどれぐらいの時間なんでしょうか？
How long is a million years to a ghost? He asked.
すると幽霊はこう答えた。
And the ghost answered.
100万年と言ったらわしにとっては1秒みたいなもんだよ。
Oh, you're one of those ominous kids, aren't you? A million years is like a second to me.
次に男はこんなことを尋ねた。
Next, the man asked.
幽霊にとって100万ドルってのはどんなもんなんでしょうか？
How much is $1 million to a ghost?
幽霊は答えた。
And the ghost answered.
100万ドル。それは人間の価値で言えば1セントと同じようなものじゃ。
$1 million? It is but one small cent to
そ
me.
の答えを聞いて男はニヤニヤと愛想笑いを浮かべながら最後にこんなことを聞いてみたんだ。
When he heard that, the man pretended to smile all nice, and then said,
おお、おじいさん。ならばあなたの1セントを私に1ついただけないでしょうか。ってね。
Well then, Gramps, how about giving me one of your cents?
幽霊は微笑みながらこう言った。
Laughing, the ghost replied,
ああ、もちろんいいとも。
Sure,
すぐに
right
でも
away.
やろう。だが1秒だけ待ってくれないかな。
But can I get you to wait just a second? Comedy. Comedy gold.
どう？とびっきり生かしたジョークでしょ？
Well, it's a pretty good joke, right?
ところでこの加圧室に入る前に皆さんにイヤホンのようなものをお配りしましたよね。
By the way, before we enter this pressurization chamber, we handed out earphones to everyone, remember?
はい、そうです。
Yes,
今皆さんが耳に装着されているそのイヤホンです。
that's right. The earphones that everyone is using right now.
これはただのイヤホンではなく音声変換器と言います。
These are not your average earphones. They are voice alternators.
レミューの中にはヘリウムガスが充満しているのでこの変換器を耳につけていないとアヒルのような声に聞こえてしまうのです。
Lemu is pumped full of helium gas, so without those in your ears, you'll sound like a duck. He removed his voice alternators to see what would happen. Ha! It's true! People really do sound like ducks! Then again, maybe they sound more like aliens than ducks. The voices of the people around him jumped to a strange higher tone.
なあ、なんか喋ってみてくれよ。
Hey, say something. Like what?
なんだよその声。すげえ笑える。
Your voice is hilarious. Coco hadn't been listening to the explanation.
そうだ。さっきのコメッチョ、もう一回聞かせてくれないか。
Can you tell me that joke one more time?
どうして？
Why?
いいからいいから。
Come on. Just do it.
昔ある男が死んだおじいさんの幽霊に向かってこんなことを尋ねたんだ。100万年と言ったら幽霊にとつれと幽霊はこ変なの。
That's weird.
笑わなかったくせに。
You didn't even laugh at all just a second ago. He put the voice alternators back in his ears and looked back at the staff member again.
さあ説明はこれで終わり
And
です。
that pretty much covers
あ
it.
と1分ほどでこの部屋の脇にあるドアが開きます。
In approximately 1 minute, the door on this side of the room will
ド
open.
アの向こうはエレベーターになっていますので、加工すればその先には素晴らしい楽園が広がっています。
On the other side of that door is an elevator, and at the bottom of it, a brilliant paradise awaits.
それでは海洋テーマパークレミューを心ゆくまでお楽しみください。
We hope that you enjoy yourself to your heart's content here at the Marine Theme Park Limu.
さて、それじゃ行くか。
Well, shall we go? We're just adopting this kid now. Just as he headed for the elevator.
ところでねえ一人で来たの？
So, are you here by yourself? Yeah? You single? I can tell. Forever alone? That's you, right?
ああ、俺？いや、友達とはぐれちゃってさ。
Who, me? No, I got separated from my friends.
迷子なんだ。
So you're lost?
ちょっと違うけど、まあ似たようなもんかな。
Not exactly, but something like that.
エレベーター降りたら、そこら辺歩いて探してみるよ。
I'll head down the elevator and take a look around.
さっきの係の人に相談してみたら？
How about checking with that girl who was just talking?
お、それもそうだな。ちょっとすいません。
Oh, I suppose I could do that. Excuse me. Looking back, he saw that the employee had already disappeared.
じゃあ君一人でレミューに来たんだ。
So you came to Limu by yourself?
そうだよ。
Yeah, that's right.
それにしてもさ。
Even so... After bending down to wipe away the white stain on his pants, you stood up.
珍しいよね。男一人で遊び
You
に
don't
来
see
るなん
that
てさ。
very often. A guy coming to a park like this alone? That was true. It was paradise, an amusement park. In that instant, he had almost forgotten even that.
でもどうして連れの人と一緒に入場しなか
So
ったの？
why didn't you go into the park with your friends?
わざわざレミューの中で待ち合わせなんて。
Why arrange to meet inside Limu?
それは。
That's because... Do your friends not like you? Are your friends assholes? Are you an asshole? Oh man. Hope I'm not an asshole. Now that she mentioned it, who had said to wait on that bench? Whose idea was it anyway?
まあよ。
Huh? Well,
わけは聞かないでおいてあげよう。
I won't push you. Who was it?
しかしあれだ。
What?
要するに君
I
は
suppose that... Well, I mean...
振られちゃったみ
You've
たいだね。
kind of been stood up, right?
え、振られた？
Stood up? Stood up. Took a moment for the meaning of the phrase to register.
つぼしだったのかな。ごめんなさい。
hit the nail on the head, didn't I? Ah, sorry. She shrugged slightly, embarrassed.
まあまあ、そう落ち込みなさんな。
Well, don't get embarrassed about it. Or don't get depressed about it. She changed modes abruptly and let out a hearty laugh. She slapped him solidly on the back.
私がとことん面倒見てあげるからさ。
I'll look out for you. All right?
うん。
He nodded, a bit overwhelmed. So, I was stood up? I must have been dumped. Huh? Then again, he wasn't sure exactly what had happened.
でもさ、
But
何？
ユウは今仕
aren't
事中
you
じゃなかったの？
working right now, you?
固いこと言わないの。
You'd make a scary boss. No matter how many times he checked, she was definitely still wearing a Limu uniform.
暇だったし、ちょうどよかったわよ。
I didn't have anything to do anyway. It's perfect timing. Huh. They got in an egg-like elevator together. The egg slowly began to move. It felt like they were slowly floating up.
上に参ります。
Going up? She whispered mischievously. The elevator was terribly crowded. Everyone was packed in like sardines.
ちょっと暑いね。
It's a little hot, huh?
うん。
Oh, yeah, I'll say. Her face was so close that he almost bumped into it. Their bodies were flush against each other. She was soft and warm. He was surprised. All of a sudden, he felt embarrassed and started to squirm. Oh, don't do that. That'll make it worse, man.
そうね。
Hey, kid!
変なとこ触らないでよ。
Don't go touching places you shouldn't. She whispered into his ear, puffing out her cheeks. Crammed in the elevator, he couldn't move at all.
くすぐったい。あんまり動かないで。
That tickles. Don't move so much.
そんなこと言われても
I don't have a lot of choice.
息ができないんだ。
I can't breathe. He couldn't move, but he couldn't bear standing still either. As he gasped for breath, he noticed her light perfume. Finally, the egg arrived at the top floor and his suffering was over.
あ、
He let out a cry and bolted from the elevator.
どうしたのいきなり。
What's with you all of a sudden?
待ってよ、少年。少年。
Hey, kid! He sprinted away, leaving you far behind. It wasn't that he was trying to escape from her. He'd seen something. At the edge of his vision, he thought he'd seen someone. Up ahead, that someone was still visible. He chased after whoever it was like a man possessed. I've seen that face before. I'm sure I've seen that face before. That was what his instincts were telling him. But where had he seen them? He tried to sort through his foggy memory. As he sifted, he kept running forward.
待って。
待ってよ. Wait! He felt a desperate need to meet the person, but he had to hurry. We're huffing. We're puffing. Let's we play on Monday. Monday is an additional mystery a day. Okay. So if we get finished up here, we'll do some more mystery. If we get finished up here, we'll see how good it is. Eventually, he ran out of breath. Holding his pounding chest, he looked up. Ah! There she was. Mixed amongst the other people was a girl standing. He was sure that the person he had been searching for was that girl. It was the middle of the holidays, but for some reason she was wearing her school uniform. He wondered why she was alone there. Oh. Log. Ooh, convenience. Oh, yeah. I've got to talk to her. She was by herself. She was all alone, just like him. What should I say? Where should I start? Let's see. He needed to calm down and focus. Huh? Why is it I have to talk to her? Why in the world? Who was she? Who was she? She was... He was caught up in a wave of people. Oh, he was that guy just standing in the middle of the Disney walkway, huh? They're walking, every minute clip. I need to stop dead and look at my phone. It's your fault if you run into me. Try not to break my ankle in the trolley tracks, and people out there making it all the harder. He got pushed into an elevator. It started to rise toward the surface. 17 meters below sea level, the elevator stopped at the first basement floor. He got off the elevator as if he were being spit out. The first floor is called Ersterboden. He glanced around at his surroundings. She wasn't anywhere to be seen. He thought that they had both ridden on the elevator together. But he'd apparently lost sight of her in the crowd when he got off. He lost her. He hadn't even been able to say a word. He felt really depressed. Depresso. Maybe. Did she call out to me? That idea suddenly popped into his head.
なんだろうこの感じ
What is this feeling? His heart was still beating furiously.
どうかされましたか、お客様。
Is something the matter? A uniformed staff member, different from you, was talking to him.
どなたかお探しですか？
Are you looking for someone? She gave him a warm smile as she said that.
そうです
Yes, I am. Feeling that he seemed a little desperate, he quickly blurted out an answer.
人を探しているんです
I'm trying to find someone.
待ち合わせをしててでも会えなくて
I was supposed to meet up with them, but we must have missed each other.
どんな方です？お名前は？
Who is it? What is their name?
それは
My brain bad. No namey.
ちょっとそこにいるやつ
Hey, you there! Wait! Oh, pitter patter. Suddenly, the sounds of footsteps came rushing at him.
僕のこと
You mean me?
あそうだ
Ah, that's right! Running feet braked sharply beside him. Guy was out of breath.
実は聞きたいことがある
Actually, I want to ask you something.
Huh?
Surprised, he slowly opened his mouth.
なあ知らないか
Hey, you don't know, do you? Okay, maybe close your mouth. You won't catch flies in there, buddy. There was nothing to do but see where the conversation went. And also close your mouth. Stop whatever you're doing here. Don't make that face at me
すまな
anymore.
いけど知らないかな
Sorry to ask you like this out of the blue, but you don't know, do
こ
you?
こら辺にいなかったかな俺の知り合いなんだけど
You haven't seen my friends around here, have you?
一人は身長 5.1 フィート体重17かサングラスが似合ってない手は遅いが足は速くて3枚目
One of them is about 1.5 meters tall and around 60 kilograms. Kinda good looking with dorky sunglasses. Probably not the type girls would go for. Bruh.
もう一人はスーツで丸刈り、ネクタイなし、耳にピアスが3つ、鼻に1つ、趣味は編み物。
Another was wearing a suit, no tie, short hair, 3 piercing in his ear, 1 in his nose. He likes to knit? Were you talking about knitting with anybody by any chance?
そして最後はこう言って、派手なフリルのたくさんついた地味な花柄ワンピース。
And there was the only girl in the group who had on a kind of simple colored flower print one piece with frilly lace.
というどこにでもいそうな3人組なんだけど、
You know, 3 people you might see anywhere, like a guy in a suit knitting, walking around a theme park. Totally normal thing to be doing.
見なかった？
Did you see them? Please close your mouth.
いいえ。
Thank you. Oh my god, it's not closed, but that's better. The young kid shook his head.
悪いね、呼び止めちゃって。
I see. Well, sorry about stopping you like that. Waving slightly, he left. The youth continued down the corridor ahead. Like a damn whirlwind. A girl came over to him and started talking to him enthusiastically. He thought he had seen her before. I wonder if she knows that kid. But a troubled expression appeared on his face.
ねえねえ、ここのコメント聞きたくない？
Do you want to hear a joke?
え？君、誰？
Who are you? So that's it. She was probably one of those kinds of people that would talk to anyone about anything anywhere, whether they were interested or not. He thought he would go down below. The elevator arrived soundlessly and swallowed the waiting patrons. He went with them further into the depths of Limu. He walked around aimlessly. The attractions were all packed with visitors. Everyone had beaming smiles and yelled happily, all evidence of Limu's popularity. But still, wandering around a packed and lively amusement park all alone was a bit torturous. He couldn't help trudging around with heavy feet and slumped shoulders. He was on the verge of looking depressed, but he held his expression in check.
しかし参ったね。
What am I gonna do? Who could be upset with this guy around? Huh? Walking around blindly in that place, he thought he might never run into his friends. The floor was a lot wider than he imagined.
あ、そうだ、携帯。
Oh, right, my cell phone. How much signal are you getting? 50 meters under the sea. He took his PDA multi-purpose communication device from his pocket. Oh my god, we're getting imaginary cell phone action. Oh, yes. Yes. We're getting the let me get my Newton out level of PDA. Oh, remember when we called them digital assistants? Before digital assistants was like, oh, hey Siri girl, what's up? Oh my god. He pushed a button. What happened when he pushed the button? Oh my god. Oh my god, what was our dream cell phone technology like? He didn't have any messages, no mail either, but the problem seemed to be that you're underwater and don't have signal? Yeah. Check your beeper, maybe. At least, that was what the display said.
マジですか。
I was gonna say, see if the place has Wi-Fi. But let's be honest. Nowhere in Japan has public Wi-Fi. Not even in their fantasy world where somewhere have public Wi-Fi, because it is just that fucking unheard of.
このご時世に県外とは。
I didn't think you could get out of range in this day and age. Under the ocean will do it for you. Then he recalled they'd said something about it being a giant tunnel in the middle of the ocean. Something like that, where only select radio waves could reach. And that Limu used special electronic equipment which wasn't very compatible with mobile equipment, such as being a metal tube. More than anything, they didn't allow PDAs to work inside the facility. So inside the facility would be completely separated from the world above as part of the attraction. At least, that was what they'd told him at the entrance. He didn't listen to a word of it. Maybe I could get them to broadcast a message over the intercom? Oh, I have to sneeze. I have to sneeze. Okay, sneezy. All right, I'm gonna take a quick ad break to go blow my nose after that one. Thought it might be best to ask a staff member. He decided to look for one, but there wasn't a uniformed person in sight. I like that. I like how they pulled this POV chain, where the kid was just like, "Blah," and this guy was just like, "Hey, I'm talking to you." And then we gazed into the abyss of the kid's mouth, and now we have completely POV shifted over to Takeshi here. There weren't many people walking around the corridors either. He turned a corner and entered a completely different corridor. And there, right in front of him, was the giant tanuki. It's a lemur. It's got hands. Tanuki don't have hands, they got paws. The tanuki was operating a panel on the wall. I'll bet that's a lemur. What was your first sign? Thinking it was perfect timing, he settled up to the tanuki and called out.
すいません、人を探しているんです。知り合いです。
Excuse me, I'm looking for someone, a
アナウン
friend.
スで呼び出してほしいんだけど、名前は
Could I get you to make an announcement over the intercom or something? The name is... The tanuki slowly turned around and looked at him. But it didn't say anything.
もしもし
Hello? The tanuki turned away, avoiding him. Oh, same, bro. He was being ignored. I wonder if he didn't hear me. The tanuki was wearing a big stuffed suit and was a full head taller than him. There was a definite possibility that his words weren't even reaching the ears inside.
もしもし聞こえてますか
Hello? You hear me in there? He asked the question. Okay, nicely might be a little bit of an exaggeration. As he poked the tanuki in the ribs.
ちょっと贅肉が多いんじゃないかあんた
Hey, got a lot of extra flesh here, buddy. Okay, polite is distinctly out the window. He continued talking as he pinched, pulled, and released the tanuki's lips. We are feeling up the mascot. He thought that, for a mascot suit, the tanuki shot him a pretty realistic glare before it turned to walk away. Upset at that, he grabbed the tanuki's shoulder.
おい、お客が困ってるのにその態度はないんじゃない
Hey, what kind of attitude is that? And when a visitor's in trouble? Kick his ass. He'd been gut punched. And deserved it. The tanuki had actually slugged him. Not even his parents had ever even really spanked him before. It had been a totally cheap shot that the tanuki had landed a solid uppercut.
こら、タヌキお前だ
Hey, tanuki! Yeah, I mean you! He went down on his knees and keeled over. The nearby visitors reacted.
どうしました
Is everything all right? Just then, a park employee appeared from the door.
中でも痛いんですか
Are you having stomach pains? It was the tanuki.
タヌキが俺にボディーブローを
That tanuki caught me with a body blow.
あ
The employee gave him a surprised look.
殴られたんだよいきなりあのタヌキに
I got sucker punched by that tanuki. He pointed at the big tanuki. The tanuki's expression didn't change. But it turned and started to run. The tanuki's silhouette pranced lightly away into the distance. And in an instant, it had disappeared down the walkway.
ああ、あれはですね
That is, a... The staff member looked after the tanuki as she
タヌ
spoke.
キじゃなくて レミュール
That's what I was saying! Motherfucking Zabumafu over here, and you're calling him a tanuki? That's not a tanuki, that's a lemur.
レミュール
What? Oh, lemur? I get it! It's true comedy! Comedy. He rubbed his still aching stomach as he spoke.
レミュール
Yes, a lemur, you know? A fox-like monkey?
名前は
I guess.
ミュミューン
Its name is Myun Myun. Myun Myun. For like the moo. Lemu. Lemu had been named after the continent of Lemuria, a legendary land. According to British zoologist Slater, the Lemurian continent preceded the existence of islands scattered throughout the Indian Ocean. Lemurs were scattered throughout Africa, the island of Madagascar, Asia, and Indonesia. While investigating the distribution of those fox monkeys, Slater had come to believe a continent had existed in the Indian Ocean, adopting the British geologist Brandford's hypothesis. He named that continent Lemuria. Moreover, the German zoologist Haeckel contended that the continent was the origin of mankind.
あの着ぐるみはレミューンのマスコットキャ
Mew
ラ
Mew
の一つ
is one of
Mew Mew.
Lemu's mascots.
でどうしたんですか
What-
お腹が悪いんですか
What
それとも
happened? Are you ill or...
いやもういいもういいんだ
I'm fine now, don't worry about me.
もう済んだから
It's over anyway.
ああそうですか
I see. Staff member disappeared. I see. That wasn't a tanuki. That was Mew Mew. He wasn't sure why Mew Mew had hauled off and punched him. Maybe it was the groping him and calling him fat thing. I don't know. But he knew that wondering about it wouldn't help. So he decided to forget about it. He needed to be getting somewhere.
もう少し自力で探してみるか
I'll look around on my own a little more. He muttered that as he composed himself. He knew there should be several attractions at the other end of the corridor. His friends might have been looking for him as they
で
waited
どっ
in
ちに行きゃ
line.
いいんだ
So which way should I go? His legs were so tired he could barely move. This is the world's worst theme park. And that was exactly how he felt. Oh well. Hit by a slight dizzy spell, he leaned against the wall.
なんなんだ一体
What in the world? He sighed. He was fully and utterly beat. The staff member that had just been talking to him had vanished somewhere. Yu wasn't around either. He'd lost sight of the other girl as well. He was alone again.
ここに何しに来たんだっけ
What did
僕
I
は
come here for? I thought that maybe he should have waited where he was before after all. Having lost his destination, he rode the elevator from the aquarium and returned to basement floor 2. Basement floor 2 is Viterstock. The second floor? That's what Zwei means, buddy. The rest area is down one more level. He felt like he had come a long way from the elevator room. He didn't know which path he should take to go down. Which way?
ちょっとこっちに来てくれない
Could you come here for a moment? A voice called to him from somewhere. From somewhere. From the shadows of the path, the owner of the voice was beckoning to him. But the hand did not belong to a human.
ほら早く来てよ
Look. Hurry up, will you? It was the whispering voice of a young woman. Her bulky black arm was swaying rhythmically. Disturbed by the difference between the voice and its owner's appearance, he moved, hypnotized in its direction. The hand and arm clearly belonged to a tanuki. Is it clearly a tanuki? Is it? I can forgive the child.
ここどこだかわかる？
Do you know where we are? He was led by the tanuki into a room at the end of the walkway. Or rather, packed into it.
ここは
This is... Is this the girls' changing room? Escándalo! He saw a uniform like the one you had been wearing packed away inside an open locker. I can even see women's underwear. The room smelled like perfume. The air was saturated with a scent so strong it almost made him choke. The smell was about to overwhelm him. He struggled to get his mind under control and maintain his focus.
ねえ、ここどこだかわかる？
Hey, do you know where we are? The tanuki asked the same question again. Come to think of it, why was she a tanuki anyway? He had no clue.
ここは
This
更衣室。
is the changing room. She said that before he could answer.
更衣室っていうのは
Changing rooms are
内緒の行為をするところ。
a place to keep secrets away from prying eyes. She said that quietly.
行為
Secrets? Oh! I was literally about to say she'd go kill him. Suddenly, his vision faded. Everything went completely dark.
それ預かっておいてくれる？
Will you look after this for me? Look after? He didn't
ほ
understand.
ら、ちゃんと着せてあげるから。
Here, I'll help you put it on right.
あの
Wear it? He had no idea what she was talking about. Okay, we're gonna use our context clues. This is called critical thinking. You were talking to a person in a costume. Suddenly, there's something on your head. And they say, let me help you wear it right. Could it be... perhaps the same costume? Maybe even another costume. Critical thinking skills. He didn't understand why, but he couldn't move. He was powerless to resist her, and he let her do what she wanted. It's a completely different scene being narrated here. In a moment, something completely covered his body.
これでよし。
This should do it.
じゃあ、あとはお願い
All
ね。
right then. I'll leave the rest to you. And the light sound of her footsteps faded into the distance. The last thing he heard was the click of a door shutting. He heard the sound, but he did not see her leave. What did she do to me? His face felt heavy. His body felt heavy. He had tunnel vision. And for some reason, his body was bristling with hair. Could it be that this is the mascot outfit? When he shook his head, it made a sound like bristles brushing something. There was a smell. A smelly smell. The kind of smell that smells. Excuse me, Mr. Cheap Viewer. Ugh. Get that guy out of there. Why did it throw an apple at me? Oh, hello, Cody. It pierced deep into his brain. Before he knew what was going on, he had opened the door and was shuffling into the pathway. Without thinking, he let out a cry. He had found it. It's that tanuki. He had just been told that it was not a tanuki, but Mew Mew, the fox monkey. That information had already disappeared from his mind. Smooth brained. I forgot its name. Zabumafu. Jeez. It doesn't matter, though. That's the person that hit me and ran away. He didn't want revenge. But he did want to ask it why it had done what it had. Without making a sound, he slowly approached the tanuki mascot Mew Mew. As soon as he got behind it, he quickly grabbed the costume by the head. There! Freed from his prison.
お前こそ誰だ
Who are you? I should be asking you that.
いきなりあんなことしやがって
Why would you do something like
あん
that?
なことって
Child's just like, oh god, I was kidnapped and now I'm being assaulted.
しらばっくれるな
Don't play dumb with me.
何のことだかわからないよ
I recognize that stupid mouth that you can't close anywhere. You're the kid from
お
before.
前だろう俺を殴ったのは
Absolutely no shame now that we have unveiled like an 8-year-old that we think just gut punched us.
違うよ違う
Alright,
知らない
we'll just accept that the child beat us up.
嘘つけ忘れたのか
Liar! What? Did you forget?
嘘じゃない女
I'm
の
not
人が
lying. This girl, she took me into the locker room and I saw panties and then I couldn't see anymore.
突然この着ぐるみを渡してきて
Gave me this outfit out of nowhere and
あれお前そういやさっき会ったっけいつの間に着替えたんだ
you just met her? When did you
今
change?
来たばっかりだよ僕は
I just put it on. I
今来たばっかりおい何言ってるんだ
just put it on. What are you talking about?
だけどどうしてこんな
Why do this?
こんな
Did we make a strange child cry already? At that point, the tanuki collapsed. He collapsed in full Mew Mew regalia. That's embarrassing to be in front of.
どうしたおい
Oh, now we're the asshole that demasked the mascot and then made him pass out. Look at all these people that just saw us do this. Takeshi shook his shoulders, but there was no response.
誰か来てくれなんだか様子がおかしい
Somebody come quick! Something's not right here! He yelled. Visitors watched from a distance. Everyone was like, oh my god, that guy just killed the mascot.
どうしました
What's the matter? A female employee heard the fuss and came running.
ああんたさっきの
You're
ちょっとこいつ急に倒れて
You're that girl from before. This guy just collapsed all of a sudden. I didn't grab him and wasn't yelling at him or anything. Uninvolved.
ちょっと見せて
Let me see. The employee took the pulse of the fallen youth. Takeshi wondered if she had any medical knowledge.
大丈夫だけどこのままにはしておけないね
He's all right, but we can't leave him here like this.
手伝うよ
The optics are terrible. I'll help.
お願い
Great, thanks. Why had such a thing happened? He had no idea. No idea. Where he was? Where he had gone? Shaken. Feeling ill. He could feel the hair from the costume rubbing along both of his sides as two people carried him. Rubbing! He wished they'd get the mascot suit off him quickly. The fur felt nasty. It was hot. So hot. So hot he couldn't stand it. The heat made him feel faint. His consciousness felt like it would drift away. Why had such a thing happened? It was strange. So strange. It wasn't him or her. He heard a different voice from somewhere. He'd been hauled to the infirmary.
でもなんだろう
貧血?
I wonder what it could be. Is he anemic?
着ぐるみが熱かったんじゃないか？着慣れないみたいだったから。
Maybe it was the mascot suit? Maybe he couldn't get used to wearing it.
ありえるね。熱射病かな。
It's possible. It could be heat exhaustion.
まあ、なんとかなりそうか。
Well, Limu, maybe you should have handlers assigned to all of your mascots. Gee, I guess not that this was like a real mascot situation.
うん。重い病気じゃなさそうだし、しばらく休ませておけば大丈夫だよ。
It doesn't appear to be anything serious. A little rest and he should be fine.
そっか。
I see.
ありがとう、手伝ってくれて。あとは私が見るから。
Thanks for your help. I'll take it from here.
あ、それじゃあ
You's
頼むよ。
adorable. I kind of love you. Oh, all right then. He opened the sliding door and left the room.
人助けか。
Oh, saving people sure can be stressful. Man, we're gonna act like I had nothing to do with shaking a kid and yelling in his face until he passed out. I saved him. Another good deed for me. Hell yeah.
俺はここに何しに来たんだっけな。
What was it I came here to do? A cool breeze was blowing along the walkway. Breeze. Where was it coming from? He wondered where he had come from. He saw something faintly. A ceiling. Sheets. A bed. He had been put to sleep on a bed? On a bed in the infirmary. He saw something again. Below the sick room bed. Who was on the bed below? Who is this? Is that Coco again? Or is this the girl in the uniform? I can't tell in black and white. This isn't me. Of course not. He decided to go farther down the hall. The third floor underground. They'd called it Driderstock. The guys, they gotta be lined up waiting for a crowded ride somewhere.
あ、すいません、乗ります。
Everybody's still in line for Flight of Passage, I know it! Hey, sorry, I'm getting in! He dashed into the elevator. The doors reopened silently and closed again. Huh? One other person had gotten on. A girl. More like a young woman, I guess. One girl had gotten on. She was about high school age. The elevator floated upward an instant before descending. There was a faint sound of movement and vibration. Then his eyes met with the girl's. He wondered why. The girl stared at him suspiciously. It's probably related to the fact that we were staring first.
何?
What?
何なの? あなた.
Just who are you?
どうしてこんなところにいるの?
Why are you here?
なんでついてくるのよ?
Why are you following me? Let's go with the reflex apology.
ごめん。
Sorry. He didn't recall seeing her, but he nodded slightly in apology. It's what I would do. If somebody was like, what the fuck are you following me? I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. It's because I'm stupid. I couldn't help it.
何か気に障ったかな。
Did I do something to offend you? Did you watch me assault the mascot earlier? Because he started it.
別に?
Not really.
ん?
He was getting more and more confused.
つまり
I mean,
このエレベーター従業員専用なの.
this elevator, it's for employees only.
ああ、なるほど。
Oh, I have fucked up again. Jolting suddenly, the elevator stopped. He looked at the ceiling. The lights flickered unsteadily.
なんだ?
Oh, we're just going to immediately go into a nightmare scenario of, and then we're stuck on an elevator, huh?
まさか
It couldn't be.
まさか?
Couldn't be.
まさか何なんだよ。
Couldn't be what? Couldn't be. He wondered if something had gone terribly wrong. It was strange. Very strange. Who's this? Okay, this is the girl who was in the uniform, so that was Coco sitting on the bed. We finally met. I've been looking for you this whole time. But his voice didn't reach her. He couldn't hear her voice either. No matter how much he tried, no sounds reached him. Damn! What's going on? But he faintly saw a figure. Whatever this figure is, do not call it a tanuki. He was able to make sure. He could see himself and the girl talking over there. He saw it on the other side. I can see myself over there? He watched. And he watched. That's strange. No, it's odd. If I'm watching them, then who is the me watching me? Something felt out of place. He knew the truth and his lips trembled. Who is that? Who could be the me over there? He couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. It was like a dream. It was like he was watching the continuation of a dream. But a dream couldn't have felt so powerfully raw. All of the screaming, and the sound of running feet, the shrill wailing of sirens. That wasn't a dream or an illusion.
まさかって何を知ってる？
Couldn't be. Do you know something about this?
何も知らない。
I don't know anything.
あなたは何を知ってるの？
Do you know something?
知るわけないだろ。
How could I know anything? The lights gradually dimmed and finally went out. Why? He had no idea. He didn't know. There was no way he could know. But there on the bed. There. On the bed. There. The bed below. The bed on top. The bed below. Who are you? Who? Stop. Please stop. Don't come out. Please don't come out. Stay inside. Don't crawl out of there. Stop. Please. Stop. No. There was nothing to fear. It was all right. Because there was no longer anyone. Because there was no one there.
おい、誰かいないのか？
Hey, who's there? Somebody there?
俺はここだ。ここにまだいるんだ。
I'm here. I'm still in here.
誰か出してくれよ。
Somebody get me out of here.
返事をしてくれ。
Answer me. Please.
誰かいませんか？
Isn't there anyone there? Nobody answered. The surroundings were filled with silence.
なんだ。誰もいないのか。
What? Is anybody there?
一人か。
So... I'm alone. He burst with laughter, the ultimate feeling of liberation. There was no one to restrain him anymore. And he ran. But no one stopped him. Getting there was easy. All that was left was to aim for the center. Just take a step. It was simple. He threw his body into the water. He sank. Deeper, deeper, and deeper. Sound died away. What the fuck is happening? The embrace of unbelievably pure silence. Not even a beam of light pierced the darkness. All he could hear was repetitive, heavy breathing. He lost himself, his mind short-circuiting. His vision narrowed and was overrun with blue. Deep blue. Blue. Something was strange. He wondered if it really was blue. Even though he was perfectly still, it seemed as if his heart was racing. Sweat poured off of him. His breathing was ragged and labored. Gradually, his consciousness dissolved into the darkness. Black. Endless black. There was no mistaking it this time. Everything was stained black. There were no boundaries to the color. His ears hurt. The ringing in them wouldn't stop. He felt pressure expanding in his lungs. He felt queasy, sick to his stomach.
気圧が低下してる。
The air pressure is dropping. I forgot. I need to pop my ears? With a pop, the air building inside his ears was released. Damn!
どっちだ
Which way is the exit? Yeah, I do like the ping pong POV changes. It's very disorienting. Disorienting positive. Nothing moved. He didn't move either. There wasn't a sign of a breeze. He didn't hear anything. Just echoes from something invisible. Time froze to a stop. If he stopped there, he felt like he would forget he was even alive. It was his intuition. Only a little more. No! It was no good. He had to get out. But he didn't even know which direction to go. He had to get himself out of the darkness. Had to. But what could he do? What could... He didn't know. Just then, he felt a faint, warm light. Light? A blade of light slicing through the flat world of darkness. And he knew. The direction was over there. And that there might be a way out. If he could get over there. Who am I? I didn't know where I was, but I quietly opened my eyes. The next thing I knew, I was on a bed. The ceiling was so white it was slightly blinding. It smelled of disinfectant. I wondered where I was. Are you awake now? A shadow passed above me on the bed. I wondered who it could be. No, wait a minute. Somewhere. I felt like I had met that person somewhere before. How are you doing?
顔色は良さそうだけど。
You look all right enough. Who? Who was it? I knew her. I was sure that I knew her. Still, I couldn't put my finger on any one thing about her that I knew. The more I thought about it, the more the area around my temples pounded with pain.
あれやっぱりダメそうかな。
Oh, I guess it's no good then?
頭痛いの？
Does your head hurt? I pressed my temples with the fingers of both hands, nodding slightly.
わかった。じゃあちょっと待ってて。
See? Just wait a second, all right?
痛み止め探してみるから。
I'll try to find some painkillers. She laughed sweetly and stepped away from me. I raised myself up and looked around. The room was completely white. I love these future beds, though. Oh, I guess there's some normal, ward beds back there. But this guy, this is good. Good future furniture. With a number of beds tidily lined up in a row. Looking behind me, there was a curved glass window in the wall. I got off the bed and put on my shoes, which were neatly arranged below me. I approached the window. Outside, as far as the eye could see, was one endless sheet of blue. Transparent waves of light swayed gently in the dense, deep navy mist. I put both of my hands on the wall and pushed my face up against the glass. Just then, a flash of silver light darted across my vision. For an instant, I was afraid. Then, I noticed it was just a fish. This is the middle of the ocean. Oh, we all amnesia'd up. What's the matter? At some point, the girl had come to stand beside me. Of course it is! This is the Lemu infirmary. Lemu! The instant I heard that word, a flash of searing light reappeared in the back of my mind. That was right! That was right! I had come to Lemu. The theme park Lemu floating in the ocean. And I had been walking around Lemu with her. There were ancient ruins, the whale floating in the darkness, the jellyfish gondola, the merry-go-round. But it actually flashed that fast. I didn't make it do that. I'm just saying, I'm not like clicking aggressively. But why had I come to that place, to Lemu? Had I come for fun? Bleh. Who would go to a famous underwater amusement park for fun purposes? Thank you. Of course I had. It was a theme park after all. But was that right? Was that really the reason? Violent head pain struck me again. I shook my head again and again, my face distorted from the pain. Hey, are you all right? Shouldn't you rest a little more? She helped support me as I returned to the bed. I brought you some headache medicine. She held 2 white pills in her left hand. In her right was a cup filled with water. White pills. 2 of them. You know what? Normally I would be like, let's take ibuprofen together, but I'm not about to trust strange medication being given to me in this place. No thanks. Also, I'm like 8, so maybe you shouldn't be giving me drugs anyway. I replied instantly. I looked away from her hand. What's the matter? Your head hurts, right? Yeah. Well, if you don't take these, the pain won't go away. Me, every time I have a cold and refuse to take everything, and my wife's like, just take the fucking cold medicine. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. Pain continued to throb through my skull. The pills in her hand would help to ease that pain. She says, we don't know. We're a child and I do not trust anybody in here anymore. I understood all of that, yet for some reason I wanted to look away from the medicine. Oh, I get it! I see, you don't like the taste, right? That's kind of sad. But that's okay. This medicine isn't bitter at all. It's more than not bitter. It's got a mellow, sweet, full flavor that floods throughout the mouth without an aftertaste. Advil's actually a little bit like that. If you get the, like, brown, like, Advil, that does have a bizarrely sweet taste if you don't swallow it fast enough. I don't know about the without an aftertaste thing. Ouch. My headache had gotten worse.
ほら言わんこっちゃない。
I told you so.
どうしても飲めないって言うならお尻から座薬を入れちゃうぞ。
If you really can't swallow it, I can give it to you anally via a suppository. Whoa! Okay, something is wrong in this theme park. For an instant, I feared my chastity might be violated and grabbed the belt of my pants. Okay, we are being threatened with assault. I think we need to acknowledge that outright, kid. Feeling half threatened, I downed the medicine, even though I didn't want to. It was super
多
bitter.
分軽い気圧障害だと思うよ。
It's probably just mild barotrauma or decompression sickness. I don't think there's such a thing as a mild decompression sickness. I'm pretty sure that means you have nitrogen bubbles in your blood and you are going to die.
よくいるのよお客さんで。
It happens to a lot of visitors.
突然具合が悪くなって運び込まれちゃう人が。
They just feel ill all of a sudden and get carted in here. She said that as she slyly took the cup from my hand. I sank my head back into the fluffy
そ
pillow.
もそも無理があるのよ。
It's a bit rough coming down here anyway.
慣れない人がいきなり6気圧の中で長時間活動するのなんてさ。
People with no experience just jumping to 6 atmospheres for long periods of time. Sheesh!
人間は地表の気圧の中で快適に過ごせるように作られてるんだもん。
The air pressure in the Earth's atmosphere is made for people to live comfortably.
こんな密度の
Of
濃い
course
空気を
people are
吸ってた
going to
ら
have bad
体が
reactions to
気絶
breathing
反応
air
を起こ
this
しちゃうのは
thick.
当然だと思う。空気と初恋は淡い方がいいに決まってるの。
Air and first love. Both should be light. No doubt about that.
コーヒーと初恋なら濃い方がいいけどね。
Coffee in your first time. Girl! Keep it in your pants. Those, of course, are better thick. Huh? She touched my face with the palm of her hand. I take back when I said I liked you. She's a little bit of a creeper. The backs of her slender fingers stroked my cheek. The smooth texture of her skin slipped down from my neck to above my chest, stopping there.
大丈夫。熱はないみたい。
It's all right. You don't seem to have a fever. She smiled at me. Somehow, I felt embarrassed. I pulled the bed cover up to my eyes and hid my
そ
face.
れじゃあそのまましばらく休んでて。
Just rest like that for a while, okay?
私、外の様子見てくるから。
I'll go see what's going on outside. Outside?
なんて説明すればいいのかな。
How should I put
君
this?
が寝てる間にちょっとしたトラブルがあったみたいで。
While you were asleep, it seems there was a bit of trouble.
まあ、そのことは後で説明するから。
Well, I'll explain it later.
今はとにかく何も考えずにゆっくり休む。いい？
Anyway, just rest, and don't worry about anything for now, okay? Seeing me nod, she walked away from the bed. Hey, wait a second.
Huh?
Just let me ask you one thing.
何？
What might that be? Why am I here? You just told me that this is the Limu Infirmary, right?
君はね、ツバイトストックの売店でいきなり倒れちゃったの。
You passed out all of a sudden at the kiosk on Zweiterstock.
それで私は通りがかりの男の人と君をこの救護室まで運んできて。
And then some guy and I hauled you here.
っていうか、覚えてないの？あの時のこと。
You don't remember what happened? Kiosk? At the kiosk? In front of a big window. A sweet smell? Something covering my body. The lemur mascot.
お前だろう、俺を殴ったのは。
You hit me! That's right, I remember! And I was struck dizzy. Like something being stolen away, I lost consciousness and...
どう？
So,
思い出した？
do you remember? Yes.
他に質問は？
Do you have any other questions? I shook my head and answered.
はい。
Well,
じゃあいい子にして待って
be
て
a
ね。
good boy and wait here, all right?
すぐ戻ってくるか
I'll be
ら。
right back. She patted my head gently and began walking for the door, while I turned my head to stare at her back. My last name is Tanaka, and my first name is Yu. My real name is much longer, though, but it's such a pain. Just call me Yu. I remembered her words. Yu turned at the door and looked at me, lifting her hand to wave, and left the infirmary. All alone inside the quiet room, it was like time had stopped. I didn't know if the medicine had started to work or not, but my headache was completely gone. As I stared at the ceiling, I thought about the events leading to my being in that bed. Before I passed out, I had been walking around Lemu with you. We had gone to a shop and were talking. Then we rode an egg-shaped elevator up 2 floors. Before I had met you, I had been in a small park. I was on a bench in that park. I was waiting for someone. Who? Who was I waiting for? I didn't know. My memory was a fog, and thinking about events after that would make my mind seemingly cloud over. I shook my head several times, trying to clear it and concentrate. Why was I there? Why had I come to Lemu? Did I come alone? Or was I with someone? What was I doing before I came to Lemu? How had I arrived at the amusement park? It's no use. I can't remember. The thread of my memory cut off right there. I couldn't recall anything beyond that time on the park bench enjoying ice cream. It was like getting lost in a forest and going to turn back, only to discover that everything had gone dark. I felt strange. It felt like I was in the middle of a dream. I felt like I had lost something very important. But I didn't know what that something was. And not being able to move forward had made me feel that it was specifically because I had lost something important. I felt an unpleasant sense of something lacking. And that sense of something not being quite right irritated me. I took my right hand out from under the blanket and stared dreamily at my palm. The countless wrinkles etched there, intertwining, reaching out like the branches of a tree in complicated patterns. The pinkish skin, and buried deeper the slightly blue veins. And 5 fingers. Had my hand always had this strange shape? Bizarre thoughts hit me from nowhere. No, my right palm was no different than it had ever been. Yet for some reason, I felt that I had to doubt even that natural fact. Maybe, just maybe until a few hours ago, I might have had 6 fingers, or 7, or maybe even 8. I felt like something was wrong. Could I have been feeling that way because I lost something special? I opened and closed my hand a few times, just repeating that meaningless, simple exercise. I wandered in the forest, searching for that one lost finger. The door to the infirmary opened and you returned. You know, when you get bored in a hospital room, it's a whole different level of boredom. Beep. Boop. You dashed into the room and ran towards me as if she was going to bowl me over.
何やってるの？寝てる場合じゃないでしょ。
What are you doing? This is no time to be sleeping! She shouted at me suddenly. You left me here to sleep. Completely clueless, I simply laid there in a daze. Get up! Hurry! You peeled away the blanket and dragged me off the bed. What's the matter?
わかんないよ。
I don't know.
かんないけど、
I don't
とに
know,
かく逃げなくちゃ。
but we've got to escape from here. You had a panicked expression. The relaxed look that had been on her face just a while ago had vanished completely. Escape? To where?
決まってるでしょ。
There's only one place.
海の上、吹島に逃げるの。
The floating island on the ocean. Why?
いいからいちいち聞き返さないで。
Because I say so, don't ask questions.
逃げなきゃいけないから逃げるの。
We're escaping because we have to escape. There was something urgent and powerful in Yu's words. She dragged me along. I felt a sharp sense of crisis from her powerful grip. I hurriedly slipped on my sneakers and fled out of the room with her. The instant we emerged into the sprawling corridor, my feet stopped. I sucked in my breath. My body froze, and I just stared at the light spreading before me. There was something missing. People, sound, warmth. No way. This can't be. The words I muttered were devoured by the eerie silence. Looking back and forth in the corridor, even in the furthest direction, there was no sign of anyone. Just the man-made walls on both sides. Unnatural light, whiter than white, shone from the ceiling and gave off a cold light. Why? Why isn't anyone
分
here?
かったでしょ。
You get it now?
だから逃げなきゃいけないんだってば。
Why we have to escape. Everyone? Where could everyone be?
かくれんぼでもしてると思う？
You think they're playing hide and seek?
とにかく今も考えてる
Anyway,
暇ないの。
there's no time to think about it
一刻も
now.
早くここ
We
を出ない
need
と。
to get out of here as soon as possible, or... Saying that, you again tugged my arm. Hunched over and on the verge of tripping, I let you lead me through the wide corridors as we ran. Our footsteps were the only sound echoing in the quiet complex. The more we ran, the more out of breath I became. My heart was pounding. Everything just felt like a dream. A nightmare in which some unknown monster was chasing us everywhere. With no clue as to the identity of the monster nor why we needed to escape. Hair-raising fear rose within me, and I was powerless to do anything. I simply cowered. In a world devoid of people, among faded colors, just Yu's palms grasped my arm. Only the certainty of her touch, that one point of contact, allowed me to retain any connection with reality. Finally, we arrived in front of the elevator. You rushed to the front of the door and pushed the up button. The button was unlit.
ちょっと冗談でしょ。
Wait, you've gotta be kidding!
どうして止まっちゃってるわけ？
Why is this thing stopped? Well, because you're not supposed to take an elevator in an emergency situation. You can take the risk if you're disabled, but otherwise you're supposed to take the stairs, You struck the button repeatedly, but nothing happened. The light stayed off. There was no sign that the floor display above the elevator doors was functioning either. Aren't there any emergency stairs or anything? You looked back and shifted her eyes around as if she was thinking.
ついてきて。
Follow me! Saying only that, she dashed off. Straight down that long, stretching corridor. You turned her head to the left and right, looking for something. It looked like she soon found what she was looking for, as she headed towards it single-mindedly. A ladder. Next to it, the words Ausgung, emergency exit, were written in straight red letters with an arrow pointing upward. At the other end of the ladder was the ceiling and a sturdy-looking door with a round-shaped handle attached to it. Are there emergency stairs on the other side? Without answering, you started climbing the ladder. She turned the handle and opened the door.
さあ、早く。
Now hurry!
ここは緊急避難用の通路。
This is an emergency escape corridor.
この通路の途中に非常階段がついてるの。
There are emergency stairs that run along it. You told me that quickly while we ran. The corridor stretched in a gentle arc so that the far end was not visible. The scenery was repetitive, and I began to have delusions that I was running in place. Where in the world am I right now? Oh my god. One time, we were at my in-laws', condo, and they live on the 9th floor of their building. And the elevators were under maintenance. So, to leave this condo, we had to walk down 9 stories worth of emergency stair. Oh my god. Oh my god. Was it only 9? God, I'm trying to think if we had to go to their parking that day too. Because they were on basement 8 for their parking. So, okay. Oh, and even then, 9th floor is wrong, because they have a ground floor, they have an amenities floor, and then they had another 9 above that then. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, so they're all just black mesh stairs. I'm visually impaired, so I'm struggling to even see where one stair becomes the next, because they didn't have the yellow edge or anything like you normally have for stairs. For people like me, who are blind and cannot function. So, the mental, game that this is playing as we're going downstairs forever. And, oh my god, walking down that many stairs. Muscles you never knew existed. Just exploding the next day. Because, when you go to the gym, you're going up inclines when you're on, a stepper. It's simulating going up the stairs. It's never simulating going downstairs and making the fronts of your thighs want to explode. Ugh. You know what? I blame my creaky knees today on that experience and that experience only. And yeah, it's the real problem is that, it all looks the exact same. It's like a fucking backrooms game. You have to stop and physically look at floor numbers on doors every once in a while just to orient yourself. Oh, I just had to trust in you and chase after her back. Suddenly, you turned right. Inertia kept me going forward. Afraid I would miss the turn, I grabbed the corner with my hand, yanking myself around and chasing after you again. The route had become straight. Immediately to the left, a green-colored sign for emergency stairs was lit up. Below the light was a closed door. You jumped towards the door's handle. This is stiff. This is so... You is desperately trying to turn the handle. It won't open? It'll open. It'll open for sure. I'll make it open. Well, don't just stand there. Get over here and help me. Spurred by her words, I firmly grabbed onto the handle. I tried with all my might to turn it in the direction of the arrow that said open. Open. Damn, what's with this? It won't budge at all. It was stuck fast, almost as if it had been welded shut. It didn't look like it would move to the right or left. We'll try to turn it when I say ready, go. Okay. With that, I threw my complete weight onto the handle. Ugh, damn! Open! Just then, a sound arose as if from inside the earth, echoing heavily from somewhere. You and I relaxed our grips and looked at each other. What was that sound? The walls shook. A small vibration shook the handle we had grabbed. The lights on the ceiling flashed irregularly. The metal mesh floor was clanging against itself. An earthquake? couldn't be.
ここは
We're
ここは
we're
海の中なんだ
in
か
the
ら
middle of the ocean after all. The vibration gradually increased in intensity. The squeaking sound of steel against steel shocked our ears. You and I held our breath, waiting still. We tried to focus, sharpening our senses, our eyes wandering the void. A low growling sound, like the groan of a monster. A monster approaching. A voice filled with hate and rage turned to a howling roar, sending shivers up my spine. Where is that coming from? Huh? Where? Where is it coming from? What? Yu's voice approached a scream. Her face lost all color, and her lips went dry. The eyes behind her silky swaying bangs looked as if they were about to cry. Silky, swaying bangs? Wind! It's wind! Muttering that, I looked in the direction of the wind, down the extremely long corridor. Something appeared to be pushing and vying for space.
そう
No way!
嘘でしょ
You're kidding!
まさか
It couldn't be.
水
Water? A monster came crashing towards us at a terrifying speed, mixed in a roiled spray of water. Oh, CG. There was no doubt. It was a rushing behemoth of water. A massive froth of waves. It was not the time to be shouting. You and I started sprinting desperately. We turned left at the corner and ran. And ran and ran. The voice of the monster right on our heels. But we couldn't look back. If we looked back, we felt like we would be swallowed up. Something beyond fear or terror had made our minds go completely blank. We couldn't even think. We could only run desperately for our lives. My shoulder bumped against the wall of the narrow corridor. It looked like my foot would get caught up in the bent metal flooring. Avoiding the pipes that hung down, we leaped over the raised entrance of the watertight door and ran. We ran on and on. This has got to be a dream. For an instant, that thought cut across my mind. In a world devoid of people, among faded colors, a drooling monster was reaching its bluish-white arms toward my neck. We were spit out with the mass of water into a sprawling room. We were turned, head over heel in the violent water. Several times, maybe several dozen times, over and over again, till finally my body stopped moving. Ow! I peeled my body from the soaked floor. Water was still pouring in from the far side of the open emergency entrance. It was flowing like a waterfall and spreading smoothly toward the far corridor as if it was crawling across the floor. That's right! What about you? Just as I thought that and looked back, you was standing up. You okay? I shook the soaked Yu's shoulders and looked into her eyes. They were empty. Her purplish blue lips were quivering. Yu was completely dazed. You! Hang on! The level of water had continued to rise during that short time. What should I do? Just then, the watertight doors at the four sides of the room began to close at once. The doors are closing, ever so slowly, letting off a dull sound. You! I tried shouting and shaking her harder, but there was no response. Instead, Yu's body went limp and she collapsed to the floor. Hey, quit goofing around, come on! I took Yu's arm and put it over my shoulder, lifting her up. I started walking towards the nearest watertight door. Yu was heavy like a stone. Water pooled around both my legs so I couldn't move forward as fast as I wanted. A steel partition gradually slid down from above. Another one came from below, pushing away water as it moved. The obstructed water swirled around. As the width between the doors narrowed, the water level increased. Come on, make it in time. Please, just make it in time. Sadly, the door didn't stop moving. There was only a small opening left for us to escape. There's no way I'm gonna die here. Giving a shout, I ran, pushing the water out of the way. Yu's slumping body weighed heavily on my shoulder. But I couldn't let go of her arm. I pulled together all my power. Almost there. Almost. Right there! With one hand, I grabbed hold of the edge of the bulkhead. Just barely. Just a few seconds after I had squeezed our bodies to that narrow gap, the watertight door closed completely. We placed our backs against the closed door and collapsed. There was almost no sense of relief. Both of my legs were shaking, and my heart was beating like it would explode. We spent a few moments there in a stupor. The next thing I knew, the seawater had mostly disappeared from the floor. That wasn't to say that it was completely dry. It was still wet. And my body and Yu's body. We were still soaked. Are you all right?
何が
Huh? What? You were really out of it until just a second ago.
誰が
Who was? You were.
私が
Me? I was? You stood up and took her wet hair in hand, wiping away the water droplets around her eyes with the palm of her hand.
そうだ
Oh, that's right!
私たち水に巻き込まれて
The water carried us away!
巻き込まれて
Carried and carried and carried us away!
どうしたんだっけ
And what happened? We got swept into the next corridor over. And then all of a sudden the watertight doors started to close. But you were all spacey. To make things worse, you fainted.
じゃあどうして助かったの
So how did we get out? I got us out.
君が
You? The little... Really? Yeah.
本当に
Really? You don't believe me? Are we out or not? Clearly I got us out. But
君ってほら助けるよりも助けられる方が似合いそうなタイプじゃない
seem more like the type who needs help rather than dishes help out. Oh, the reed straight to filth. What's that supposed to mean?
そうそう冗談
Just a joke. Just kidding.
本当に助けてくれたんだったらお礼言わなきゃね
If you really did save us, I suppose I should thank
あ
you.
りがとうございました
Thank you. You bowed her head slightly. Do you really mean it?
思ってるよ多分
Of course. Probably. Mm? You guess?
だから冗談だってば
I said I was joking.
すぐ真に受けちゃうんだからこ
You,
の純情少年ね
you take everything so seriously. You're just an innocent young'un. Oh, whatever. Well, I suppose I owed you one anyway.
仮
Owed me? When I collapsed at the shop, you helped me, right? So now we're even. When I said that, Yu's face lit up in a smile. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry up and find an
そう
exit.
だね
Yeah.
またどこで浸水が始まるかわ
You
かんない
never
し
know when there might be more flooding. Yu was checking the ceiling and walls as she started walking, and I followed along behind her. We cut across the wide room, heading for the exit. 4:20. The funny weed time! Oh, I was hoping the backlog would show me the time again. There was a big, empty, mechanical merry-go-round, without music or the voices of children playing. Only its bright lights glowed in a lonely sort of way.
ね
Hey,
えそういえばまだ名前聞いてなかったよね
that reminds me, I haven't even asked your name yet. Huh?
名前。君の名前。
Name? Your name? Oh, yeah, I got that serious amnesia. My name is... And? I didn't know. I didn't know my name. There's no way! It couldn't be! I should know it. It's my name! My very own name! Name. Then, all of a sudden, a shock shot through my whole body. Ah. What's the matter? My head hurt. It seemed like it would split right open. I held my head in both arms and crumpled forward.
大丈夫？
Are you all right? Grinding my teeth, I desperately tried to endure the pain. Darkness blanketed my eyes. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't hear anything. The darkness invaded my brain and glommed together. There was a glob that would devour my brain and dissolve it into mush.
しっかりしてよ。
Hey! Hang in there! Hey! I didn't know. My name. Who could I possibly be? Next thing I knew, I was on a bed. Here, let's take a quick break there, because I gotta run ads. Beep boop. Oh, is it going? It's going. Okay, some stuff is moving. There is motion happening. Okay. Here, you know what? Let me turn off the pony. Pony. Okay, bye, pony. Oh my god, it's cute. Alright, let me get this in there. Let me get this in here. Look at her. Look at her! Okay, I got her. She's up. She's alive. She's alive! Oh my god, it's so freaking cute! Ah! Look at how good God is. Look at how good God is. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can turn off the clothes and the hat. Blah. I want to turn off the clothes. The clothes were like vital. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's perfect. Ah! Okay. We're good. We're good now. Alright, let me stick that over there. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry for the extended time off while I got her set up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let me text my wife so I know she is looking at her screen and sees what perfection can really look like. See what it looks like when God has your back and God says, "There you are." I am like enamored. Oh my god. Oh, no longer do I have to be a horse girl from Booth. I can finally be my clown self. There I am. Here I am. Blah. Okay, we can actually play the game again now. Oh, sorry. You know, what's having like a real debut or something for a new model? No, mine is, I have an email from BGen. We're doing it live. This is all the way. Oh my god. I'm so cute now. Oh. Okay, we're back. Okay. Whew. Oh yeah. All right. The ceiling was so white, it was slightly blinding. It smelled of disinfectant.
気がついた？
Are you awake now? A shadow passed above me on the bed. You looked at me as if she was worried. This is...
おかげさまで また振り出しよ。
Back to the beginning, thanks to you. The beginning? The infirmary, huh?
ねえ、今度から倒れる時には、
Hey.
この部屋の近くにしてくれない？
Next time you decide to go and keel over, can you do it somewhere a little closer to this room?
大変だったんだからね。君を背負ってこ
Because
こ
it
ま
was
で来る
really
の。
a pain hauling you all piggyback all the way here. Sorry.
あ、別に謝らなくてもいいんだけどさ。
Oh, it's all right. You don't have to apologize.
ところで、
By the way,
思い出した？
did you remember your name? Name? That's right, my name.
ちょっと待って。
Oh, hold on a sec.
無理に思い出そうとしなくてい
You
いから。
don't have to try to force yourself to remember.
またさっきみたいになっちゃうと、
I don't
あ
want
れ
you
だし。
getting like you did before, all right? You said it very carefully.
これからいくつか質問するけど、
I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions,
とにかく落ち着いて、
so just
体
calm
を
down.
楽にして答えてほし
I
いの。
want you to relax and answer them.
いい？
All right? Sure.
まず、今日の
First,
日付はわかるかな？
do you know today's date? Today is the 1st. May 1st, right?
日付は覚えてるんだ。
You remember the date.
じゃあ、
So,
君の年齢
how
は？
about your age? Age?
生年月日でもいいん
Your
だけ
birthday
ど。
will do. Either way. I tried hard to pull together the threads of my memory. My age? My birthday? When I started to think about it, my temples began to throb.
ほら、深く考えないの。
Hey, no straining yourself.
思い出せないなら思い出
If
せ
you
ない
can't
って
remember,
そう
then
言
you
ってくれ
can't
ればいい
remember.
だけだか
Just
ら。
say so. But that didn't mean I could just stop thinking about it. I endured the headache as I felt like I wandered lost through a forest. There had to be an exit hidden somewhere. I just didn't know where.
オッケー、わかった。
Okay, I got it.
君は自分の名前も
So you
年
don't
齢も
remember your
生
name,
年月日も覚えてないのね。
age, or birthday, right?
住所や電話番号はどう？
How about your address or
じ
telephone
ゃなか
number?
ったら家族のこととか友達のこととか
If
何
not
でもいいんだけど。
those, how about your family, friends, or anything? We get tiny bit, just a little bigger, just a little. Oh, yeah. That way, when I tilt my little board, you can see him. Oh, 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 oh. She's a model. Ooh. Oh God, that's so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay. Whew.
やっぱり思い出せない？
So you really can't remember. It was just like you said. I didn't have any memories of anything. A sense of something not being right gnawed at my mind. No, it was something closer to a sense of loss. I felt that I had lost the bulk of my existence. Like someone had stolen me away, and the me who was left was just an empty shell. The me that was there, who knew if it was even the real me? The instant that went through my mind, I was frozen by an icy wave of unease. Scared, isolated, lonely. You. I firmly grabbed onto Yu's hand. Her warm palm. That warmth was the only thing saving me.
もう大丈夫だよ。
It's all right now.
男の子なんだから。
What are you,
そ
a
んな泣
baby?
きそうな顔しないの。
Stop with that sad face. I gotta get back on my Twitch controller. There we go. She shot me a smile as she squeezed my hand back.
記憶喪失ってそんなに珍しいことじゃないと思うよ。
I don't think amnesia is all that uncommon. Amnesia?
記憶がないんだから記憶喪失でしょ。当たり
You
前だけど。
don't have any memory, so that's memory loss or amnesia, right? Of course it is. Ah, she's real low-key about this. She's like, you know, so you lost your memory. It's cool. That just happens, right? I wonder what caused it.
気圧障害の関係か。
The air
どこか
pressure
で頭を打っ
change?
ちゃったのか。
Maybe you hit your head somewhere? Maybe you went into the girls' locker room and saw panties and blinked out? That's kind of weird of you, bro.
それとも何か精神的な強いショックを受けたのか
Or
もしれない。
maybe some severe mental shock?
例えば過激なアトラクションに乗って頭がパニクっちゃったとかさ。
Like maybe you were riding a crazy ride and you panicked or something? Oh my god, happened to me. Okay, so I'm like roller coaster autist, right? Like I love like the concept of roller coasters. I'm kind of neither here nor there on riding them. It's just kind of eh. So we go to Disney World, right? And we go on Expedition Everest. This is a roller coaster with lore. This is a roller coaster autists like me's dream. You know, Expedition Everest. Like, the track changes are absolutely fascinating. Like, the Disco Yeti problem is absolutely fascinating. Like, the workings of this roller coaster are literally, like, so intertwined and complex, they can't even fix one broken fucking animatronic because it's because, you know, you can't really figure out why it's broken and what would, like, be damaged in the coaster itself. The queue is beautiful. Like, the storytelling of the ride itself is great. Like, where you do this slow climb and then, like, you're suddenly going backwards. Like, my problem, we go on Expedition Everest. It's great. I'm fine the climb. I'm fine for the first track change. And then I black out. And I am out until we are rolling back in to get off the coaster. So I only have a recollection of maybe 12 seconds of Expedition Everest, which it's not like a long coaster. So like I wasn't blacked out for very long, but long enough for the whole damn ride. Whoops. And I mean, we'd rope dropped it, so we didn't have to wait very long, but from that point on, we would have had to. Terrible. Terrible. I love zoos, though, so I really liked Animal Kingdom.
でも心配しないで。
But don't worry.
きっと
It's
一時的なもの
probably
だ
just
から
temporary.
すぐに記憶は戻るはず。
It'll come back. Pandora is absolutely incredible. Like, Animal Kingdom was a lot of fun, like, even if only for Pandora. Think so?
そうだよ。
For sure.
大事故にでも
Well,
あっ
of
て
course,
脳
if
に致命的な損傷
you
を
were
受
in a
けた
major accident and had severe trauma to the brain, that'd be a whole different thing. Do you want to know my fun fact, chat? Do you want to know my fun fact? My fun fact is that I had severe trauma to the brain and I actually lost the first 8 years of my life. Whoops. So as far as I recall, my first memory was leaving a hospital and looking at a band-aid on my finger because the nurse had drawn like a smiley face in like ballpoint pen on the pad of the band-aid. But I was like 8 years old at the time. I don't know why it never occurred to me that perhaps if your first memory is leaving a hospital that maybe something happened to you. But it didn't. It never occurred to me until 8 years after that. So I'm 16, and I'm having an argument with my younger sister. So she would have been like 11 at the time, like 10, 11. Her birthday's really late in the year, so she's 10, 11. And she's trying to say she remembers something from when she was 4. And I was like, you dumb son of a bitch. To be fair, my sister is a dumb son of a bitch. This is neither here nor there. But I was right on that account. I was like, you can't remember something from that early in your childhood. Like, what are you on about? I don't remember anything from before I was 8 years old, even. Now, my mother's like, she just wants to win the argument. So she's like, who's the dumb son of a bitch now? Oh, it's you, you amnesia-ridden bitch. What? And that's where I learned. That's where I learned that I smashed my head on a concrete floor and ended up with amnesia. Whoops. At least I was only 8, so I didn't lose anything important, I guess. You know, my childhood, but, you know, I'm no contact with my parents now, so I definitely didn't lose anything of value there. Whoops. Whoops. My only family member I like is my brother, and I was 14 when he was born, so... Haha! Didn't miss none of him. Didn't miss none of him. I'll give up on the rest of them, that's fine. So yeah, there you go. Oopsie doopsie. Trauma to the brain. That's my deep lore. Congratulations, now you know it. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Aside from the trauma of that whole we almost got crushed to death when the water rushed into the emergency corridor and we were in there and we were freezing. Yay! That wasn't trauma, that doesn't count. Presumably. You put her hand on my hair and gave me a smile so bright I almost needed sunglasses. That smile flooded into my heart, wiping away the remains of the unease that was swirling there. So, do you want to get going? Oh, I'm back to loving you, but I'm trying to remember. She was a little bit of a creep. But at the same time, I'm like, do we got some kind of a body snatching situation going on around here? Like, do we even necessarily know that this is like the same you every time? Because I don't think this is the same us every time. I think weird things are going on here. I mean, I'm making an educated guess from the translation patch being named Himmel, from, you know, Himmel flashing across the screen during the intro and stuff. I'm gonna take an educated guess that we're all dead here. You know, the little girl with her, like, you know, what's $1 million to a ghost? What's 1,000,000 years to a ghost joke? I think that's indicating that we're all dead. We're ghosting up the place. I think whoever was in the Tanuki dress. I think what's her face that looked like the Fate Stay character. I think she killed us all. I think I was her in the Tanuki costume, and I think she killed us all. But what was the like euphoric throwing themselves into the pool of water? Who was that? I thought it said that was like a kid. Was that not us kid? Or was that us kid? And now we're like haunting the place. I don't know. Weird things are happening. This game is weird. I see why my wife was like, oh man, I got a game for you. But, whew.
このまま子守歌でも歌って君を寝かしつけてあげてもいいんだけど
I could sing you a lullaby and tuck you in, but
残念ながらそんなのんびりとしてられる状況じゃないのよね
unfortunately, we don't have time to relax.
わかるでしょ
You understand, right? I nodded and got off the bed. Yu started walking for the door. My eyes stopped on the bluish ribbon on Yu's back. The ribbon seemed to have taken on water and glittered brightly, almost like the wings of a newborn fairy. It's no good. It doesn't seem to open. You said that after trying to move the door with her weight several times. Those were the emergency stairs. Or more accurately, it was the passage on the way there. The emergency stairs were wound in a spiral around a fat pipe. If we followed those stairs, they would take us to the floating island, at least in theory. But then, right in front of us stood a thick steel wall. The wall had a small watertight door, and if we couldn't squeeze through that, then we couldn't make our way any higher. This isn't the floating island yet, is it?
当たり前でしょ。
It's pretty obvious, isn't it? Well, I don't know you. If it was obvious, would we be asking?
それどころかエルストボーデンだってまだまだ先なんだから。
I mean, we haven't even hit Ersterboden. We got a long way to go. Ersterboden? Was that the first basement floor? You nodded. What does that mean in terms of depth? How deep is it?
そうね。ホワイトストックが34メートルだから。
Let's see. Zweiterstock is 34 meters deep, so
30メートル前後ってとこかな。
around 30 meters, give or take, I guess?
まだ4、5メートルくらいしか登ってきてないもん、この階段。
We've only climbed around 4 or 5 meters on these stairs. 30 meters deep. 30 meters sounded so close, but in any event, if the door didn't open, that was it. I wonder why it won't open.
さあね。
Who knows?
呪文でも必要なんじゃない？
Maybe there's a secret spell or something. Spell? You mean like open sesame? That kind of spell?
またそうやって真に受ける。
There you go, taking me seriously. Well, what then?
教えてほしい？
You really want to know? Yeah.
聞かない方がいいかもよ。
Maybe you'd better not ask. Ah, it's so cute. Huh?
どうするの？聞くの？聞かないの？どっち？
So, what are you gonna do? Do you want to hear it? Or not? Which is it? Alright. Lay it on me, girly pop. I want to know.
オーケー？なら教えてあげよう。
Okay, I'll tell ya.
さっき君はいきなり水密費が閉まり始めたってそう言ったよね。
You were just talking about how the watertight doors started closing all of a sudden, right? Yeah.
つまり
That means the doors closed automatically. Closed automatically?
浸水を感知したレミが危険なエリアの水密費を自動的に閉めちゃったってこと。
Lemmy detected flooding and automatically shut the doors in areas that were in danger. What if we just... Oops, wrong. What if we just... Ah! Oh my god, it's so cute. Oh, all its glory, all its glory. Okay, wait, let's turn the hat back on. Hat? No, that's my clothes. Ah! Oh my god, don't look. Hat. Ah! Oh my god. Oh, jingle jingle hat. What's Lemmy?
このレミュー内の全ての
That's what we call the main computer.
統括管理
I don't know why I'm like trying to overlap her.
その略称みたいなもんね。
That's what we call the main computer that supervises and manages all of the electronic systems in Lemu. So what?
だからね。
So what? Here, I'll show you. Clang clang. You knocked on the steel door with her lightly closed
これ
fist.
もレミに閉められちゃったんだと思うの。
It was probably closed by Lemmy as well. Who would win in a fight, God or Lemmy? Trick question. Lemmy is God. I see. So in other words, the other side of this door is flooded with water.
多分。
Probably. She had been right. It really wasn't something I wanted to hear. If the doors were simply locked, all we had to do was find a way to open it and we could climb up to freedom. But if the other side was full of seawater, then thinking beyond that was no fun. So what do we do now?
他の非常階段を片っ端から調べてみる。
I guess we could check the other emergency stairs.
それしかないでしょ。
That's all we can do, right? You said that with a sigh and started heading down the stairs. After that, he tried 2 emergency sets of stairs in the area, but both were a waste of effort. They were shut off by thick partitions, making it impossible to climb up to Zweiderstock. According to you, there were a total of 12 emergency staircases in Lemu. 3 of those were closed off, so that left 9. You and I walked around emergency corridors searching for those 9. But we met with a dead end. And a dead end? And a dead end. The watertight doors were completely shut, and there was no way we were getting them open manually. We gave up and headed out into the normal corridors to see if we could work our way around using them. I love that the ears move with the eyes. Ah. And still, we met with a dead end. And a dead end. And a dead end. Inside the sprawling Lemu complex was a web of several dozen corridors. We investigated each, only finding closed doors everywhere. It seemed hopeless. Both the normal corridors and the emergency corridors were sealed. All of them blocked off. The only thing left for us to try was
ドリットストック。
Dreiderstock.
下のフロアに降りてみるしかなさそうね。
Looks like the only thing left is to go down a floor. With the elevators out of action, the emergency stairs were our only choice. Thankfully, 1/3 of the remaining 3 stairways were still operating. Which meant that even if there was no going up, we could still go down. You and I wound around and around the spiral stairwell until we reached Dreiderstock, 3 floors underwater. Water. I muttered that without thinking when we reached the floor. As far as I could see, the floor was a sheet of water that had flooded in. It was about up to my ankles. There's water flooding in from somewhere else.
違うと思う。
No, I don't think so.
水が流れてないでしょ。
The water's not moving, is it? It's still water. Get out of there, kids! When she mentioned it, I realized there wasn't even a ripple on the water's surface. There was no evidence that the water level was increasing. I looked around to be sure, but there weren't any signs that water was leaking from anywhere. Well then, what is this?
さっきの
This must be from the water that washed us away earlier.
スバイトストックに溜まった海水がこのフロアに流れ込んだんじゃないかな。
I figure the water that pooled on Zweiderstock flowed down here.
非常階段とか通気口とか、とにかくどこかの経路をたどってここまで流れ落ちてきたんだと思う。
Maybe via the emergency stairs or a vent? I don't know how, but somehow it flowed down here.
ほら、昔から言うでしょ。
Hey, you remember that saying? Shit always rolls downhill?
水は高きから低きへって。
Oh, yeah, water. Water always flows downhill. We entered the room from a door along a corridor. The room's massive ancient remains were steeped in water, making it seem just like the seafloor had risen up. As you and I looked around the wide room, our legs splashed water all over. Our drenched clothes were drying, so we didn't really feel the cold. The water on the floor was not as cold as I'd expected. But walking in water with shoes was, well, unpleasant. Finally. When we turned into a corridor, we heard an unexpected sound.
ねえ、今なんか聞こえなかった？
Hey, did you hear something just now? We stopped and listened. Somebody was hitting something. Somewhere nearby. There are other people here.
取り残された人がいるんだ。
Other people that were left behind. We ran at full speed in the direction of the sound. Good Foley on that.
誰か
Hey! Somebody! Somebody! Oh, is it Coco and Pee Pee?
誰かいませんか
Is anyone there?
いませんか
Anyone! Two female voices were coming from inside the elevator. You and I looked at each other and nodded. It's go time. Do it.
ちょっと待ってて
Hold on, just a little longer.
今開けてあげるからね
We're going to open the door for you.
うわよかった
Oh, good.
このまま誰も来てくれないのかと思って心配してたんです。
I was so worried that no one would come. The voice from inside sounded well. It didn't sound weak or injured.
って言ってもどうやって開ければいいんだろう。
Hang on. How are we going to open this? You placed both of her hands on the door and pushed left and right.
もうなんで今日はこんな目にばっか会うのよ
Why do we keep running into problems like this? Won't it open?
そんなの見れば
You
わ
were
かるでしょ
paying attention, you'd be
ちょっ
able
と
to
変わっ
tell.
てってば
You give it a try. I switched places with you and reached out to try to open the door. Didn't budge.
ほらほらもっと気合い入れて
Come on, put some power into it. Put your back into it, kid. Tried to put my fingers in the crack in the door, but my fingernails just barely squeezed in and nothing happened. Ow. Oh my god. Okay, so my wife has a million stories about her brother. None of them end well. You can call him precocious. So she's telling me one story. This was like pretty close when we had just met. So, you know. She's like, yeah, one time we got stuck in an elevator because we were in a hotel and my brother decided he wanted to watch the floors go by. So, while we were going up in the elevator, he pried the doors open and the elevator obviously emergency stopped. And you know, he didn't get in as bad a trouble as he could because the hotel thought it was their fault and bought him a fruit basket for the trouble. So yeah, it all ended well. And so I internalized this story and I'm like, damn, that's pretty beefy for like a child to be able to pry doors open. Cause I'm like, I wanted to watch the floors go by. Surely this was like very young he did this. Almost certainly. He must have been 12 at the oldest. Even at 12, I'm a little bit like, want to watch the floors go by? We'll go back to that conversation about head trauma, because, that's some got dropped on your head behavior. It is years later that she's regaling this story again. But, like, I can't remember. Something about this time she was telling it, the timeline was a little more clear, and it was like, he was like 19 at the time. He was like a fully grown man who decided, I want to watch the floors go by and pried the elevator doors open, which physically it made a lot more sense, but the mental point of view, like, gone. What do you mean a 19-year-old man decided he wanted to watch the floors go by and thought, I will simply manually open the elevator doors and nothing bad will happen? What? No wonder the hotel thought it was their fault. They looked at a family of completely grown people and went, it's not like any of them did this on purpose, surely. Oh. Blood started oozing from the nail of my index finger. But it was the digit next to it that caught my eye. The thumb of my left hand. Hey. I noticed a distinct mark on it. On the meaty part of the thumb was a deep scar, about 1 centimeter long. I wondered if I'd had it for long. The mouth of the cut was swollen and milky white colored.
大丈夫？
Are you alright? Well, I mean, I'm bleeding, so no. But I'm also having a mental break. Her question brought me back to reality.
血が出てるじゃない。
Oh,
ちょっと貸して。
you're bleeding. Let me see. She grabbed my left hand. I suddenly bent my thumb under it, hiding the scar. For some reason, I didn't want her to see it. You took an adhesive bandage from her pocket and put it on the bloody finger.
まったく世話の焼ける子ね。
Swear, you need so much looking after. Thanks. My finger felt faintly sweet.
まだ開きませんか？
The trapped people are just like, okay, we hear you like having some kind of weird moment out there, but we're still trapped in an elevator. You know? Saying.
それからもっと世話の焼ける子がもう一人。
But it seems there's someone that needs even more looking after than you do. What should we do?
あ、そうだ。
Oh, that's right. You muttered. She searched around in her pocket for something and took out a crowbar.
チュワーチュワチュワーチュワチュワチュワチュワピーン。
Oh, that was cute.
サインペン。
A marker! It was just a felt-tipped pen.
これをね、こうしてね、こうしてね、グリグリっとグリグリっとすれば。
See this? Take it like this, then do this, around and around and around. As she said that, you screwed the capped end into the space between the doors. A gap appeared.
ほらね。
See? I jabbed my finger into the gap and started forcing the door open. The box inside, the part where people ride, was stuck right before arriving at Driderstock. Above the door, jutting out some 50 centimeters or so, was the lower bit of the elevator box. It was at a height where if I stretched my hand out completely, it would just reach. If we could get the box open, then it seemed possible to pull the people trapped inside over to our side.
肩車。
Shoulder ride! Use one sentence, said it all. As she implied, I stood in front of her and spread my legs, bracing myself. Once again, a sentence that's about something completely different.
こら、どうして私持ち上げなきゃなんないの
Why
よ。
do I have to lift you up? Huh?
逆よ逆。
I meant the opposite way around.
こういう時は普通力のある方が下になるでしょ。
In this type of situation, it's the stronger person that's on the bottom, right? I went around behind you, wordlessly squatting down. She was wearing a skirt after all. One reason I tried to be on top was I thought I would save her the embarrassment. As I was thinking that, you straddled my head with her legs. Put both my hands on my knees, supporting myself, and stood up all at once. Her soft thighs hugged my head. She was pressed against the back of my neck. It was kinda nice. Oh. Oh, we into that?
待ってて、もうすぐだから。
Wait, hold on. We're almost there.
お願いします。
Onegaishimasu. That was slightly less a please help and a lot more of a please and thank you. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere. She took the marker and started prying it between the doors again. She stuck her finger in the gap. And then she opened the door with a flourish.
チース。
And see, yeah, again, she didn't go, wow. She went, cheese. Which is terminally adorable. With you on my shoulders, I looked up. A girl in a uniform was peeking down. Whoa! I didn't know why, but all three of us exclaimed at once. Keep sticking my watch band to cable organizer on my microphone. Ugh. Just then, I felt something like an electric shock run through me. Severe lights went off in my mind, and I heard the sound of something snapping. It was my final brain cell. I was suddenly dizzy. Oh, it was my final brain cell. I lost my sense of balance and swayed forward and back. My vision and consciousness were overrun by white. I couldn't take any more. I fell to the floor like a marionette with its strings snapped. Ah, jeez. Why'd you fall like that? You could have hurt someone. Ugh, lazy. Kids these days are so lazy. Things began to fall back into focus. I was lying on my back, looking at the ceiling. The lights were shining down brightly. Let's all point and laugh at the kid who saved us! The girls were pointing at me and laughing. Their innocent faces were enveloped in celestial-like light, like a couple of angels staring down from heaven, pointing and laughing at my misfortune. Hey, are you alright? I didn't know why. It was a bizarre sense of something like deja vu that came welling up in my mind. I felt like I had seen it all before. The angelic smiling faces somehow made me feel nostalgic. Like it was a fragment of some familiar everyday scenery. I couldn't explain it, but somehow I had that vague sense about things. Why is the floor all wet? Did a water pipe burst? Oh, they don't know because they've been stuck in the elevator. I was about to answer. The girl cut me off. But more importantly, just what are you doing here, Nakyu? The girl said that as she descended from the elevator, patting her clothes back into place. I should be asking you that! Mayo, what are you doing here? Mayo? The girl's name was Mayo? What do you mean? If you take a look at my outfit, you'd know. You're on a school trip? That's for seniors. Oh, right. Mayo, you're still a junior, yeah? Yeah. So, what then? Have you forgotten everything about your old high school already? Huh? Volunteer activities! At Kyumekan, juniors are supposed to go out and volunteer somewhere, right? Nakyu, you just graduated this year. You've got to remember, right? Oh, that's right, the volunteer program. The Civil Service Volunteer Program. I did my high school community service at a library. It was nice. Well, that was the official name, but it was really just a glorified field trip. Oh, I had to do like hours of community service, hey. Still the same old deal, I bet. The same old deal. We've established she has graduated this year. She's like, the good old days. It's like when kids who are barely above toddler age are like, back when I was a kid. Oh. Little coffee break. The girls go help out at Limu for a day or something stupid like that.
ズバリそのまんまですよ。
You got it!
私の時はユナイテッドランドだったけど、レミューに変わったんだ。
When I was there, we went to United Land, but I guess they changed it to Limu, huh?
先輩見かけませんでした？他の生徒。
You didn't see any other students, did you, Nakyu?
救命館の2年はみんなここに来てるんですよ。
The whole Kyumekon Junior class should be here.
見かけなかったけどな。
No, I didn't see anyone. While the two of them were talking, I decided to take a peek at the elevator that Mayo was stuck in. I grabbed onto the entrance of the box and used my momentum to pull myself up. It was empty inside. I thought I heard 2 girls inside. Wonder if my mind was playing tricks on me. I let go of the elevator and dropped to the floor.
何やってんの？
Hey, what are you doing? You asked me that when I returned to the ground. No, let's keep our hallucinations to ourselves. No big deal.
なんでもない？いきなり懸垂始めてなんでもないことはないでしょう。
No big deal. You suddenly start doing chin-ups on the elevator and then say it's no big deal? Yeah, I'm just after them gains. What? What about it? Must have been my imagination. Forget about it.
やれやれ。どうして最近の若いもんはこう素直じゃないんだろうね。
Why aren't all youngsters as easygoing as you these days? You shrugged her shoulders in an exaggerated way. Oh, the young folk these days. It seemed like Mayo was having a little trouble deciding how to react to Yu's behavior. Mayo would glance at me from time to time, but when our eyes met, she would look away.
あの
And he even said, the face says from the elevator.
ナッキュ先輩、この人は？
Nakyu? Who's this?
ああ、この少年。
Oh, this guy?
彼はただのお客さん。
He's just a visitor.
さっき会ったばっかりなんだけど、まあいろいろあってね。
We just met a while ago, but you know, a lot has happened since then.
どうも、はじめまして。
Nice to meet you. As formally as possible. There was something a little off about Mayo's greeting.
で、こっちがマヨ。
And this is Mayo.
高校の時の後輩なの。
She goes to your old high school. Nice to meet you too. Okay, that was just like a really awkward translation. It goes to my old high school, it should have been, since that was you talking. I think somebody got confused by the name being you. But then again, my words were pretty stiff as well.
本当はね、松永サラって言うんだけど。
But her real name is Matsunaga Sara. Sara? So why Mayo?
松永サラ。
Matsunaga Sara.
ツナサラ。
Tuna Sara.
ツナサラダといえば
A tuna salad is loaded with
マヨネーズ。なんだって、ナック先輩にとっては。
mayonnaise. At least for Nakyu it is. I see. I said that, but I still didn't really get it. I had the feeling that simple salad dressing was better suited to tuna salad. Wow, we're trapped in an underwater death trap. Tuna salad? Well, whatever. It wasn't important. Ooh, wonder if I got... Can I make myself some tuna mayo onigiri?
ところで、
Ooh.
名前は？
Oh, I went to make myself kaki fry yesterday after I streamed, and my oysters had gone bad like 10 days ago. I lost them in the we have to put the cat down like haze of like the last week. Ugh. That's how bad it was. Food's just expiring. Just lying around. Ugh. Miserable, miserable. I feel a lot better emotionally today, which helps. Name? No, don't ask me my name. I'll have a mental break.
君の名前
Yeah, your name? My name
思い
is...
出せないんだってさ
He says he can't remember.
は記憶喪失なの
Amnesia, that's what.
記憶喪失そうなの
Yokikoshi? It's so hard to understand, like, squeaky anime girl voices. I'm trying to catch the word for amnesia. Yeah.
すごいじゃん
Ah, cool! I like how she goes from so formal to, oh, hell yeah! Wow, sugoi! Wow!
なんかちょっとかっこよくない記憶喪失って
That's kind of cool, isn't it? I mean, like amnesia?
影のある男的な匂いがするもん
It sounds kind of like an international man of mystery thing.
ほら例えばさ闇の組織に追われてる暗殺者みたいな
You could be being hunted by an underground organization or assassins or something? Assassins? I wouldn't kill anybody.
だから真に受けんなっての
Keep trying to tell you not to take things so seriously.
記憶喪失か
Oh, amnesia.
本当にあるんだねそういうの
Do you really have it, that amnesia thing? Sarah kept staring at me as if I was something exotic. Like I were an angel. Replete with a set of wings on my back. The divine and nostalgic feeling from before had vanished like an illusion. And the three of us aimed for an exit. Understandably, Sarah couldn't hide her surprise when she saw how the complex had changed.
何これ
What's this?
なんでどこもかしこも水浸しなの
Why is this whole place flooded? Oh, good. I can save. Good. Good. Saves. Saves good. Oh, look at all these quick saves. Damn. Just here? Oh, there we go. Oh, look, I can pick a little picture to go with it. Okay. Okay. I think we should call it here. I don't want to blitz through the whole game. I will take a little lunchy breaky. Little breaky lunchy. And we'll come back with some Tales of Mystria. And my floppy little self. Oh my god, it's so cute. Okay. Back with Misty Tales in a sec.